to another episode of Game Set Live. Your host KY Bob here is having some technical difficulties, and I've been getting preached to for the last, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes. You should use StreamYards. Everybody tells me Streamlabs, and I'm like, this was my fault. Totally my fault. I finger screwed the buttons. I did.
I say that to you, but I don't know.
Actually, boys, we should save your spirits. Like we are not live. We still have to wait for like 4 minutes.
No, we're live.
To be like here on YouTube.
No, we're live. We're live. I got
there we go.
Up yet. Yeah, we're live.
Now it's showing up. Nice, awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did you?
I'm sorry.
Did you delete the old link or something?
Of course you didn't.
No. No, I just
because the old link, the old YouTube links, I'll pull them up.
Just quick and dirty, get it online. That's what I did. Quick and dirty.
Yep.
Yeah. But anyway,
Yep.
it
is what it is.
It is what it is. So as you can tell from the thumbnail this week, all the development time that we have had on Hellblade 2: Senua's Saga. On the most powerful gaming console on the planet, the Xbox Series X, you will have no graphical settings. There's no performance mode. You're going to get it just exactly the way they want to give it to you.
Let me correct you. The most powerful gaming console thus far. We don't know. Maybe the PS5 Pro. Who knows? Maybe they're going to make the Switch 2 and is going to be able to pull all of this out of the water.
Oh, yeah.
I can't even say that with a straight fucking face, dude. Sorry.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yes.
I'm an equal opportunity shitter. I shit on all of my consoles. So, yeah.
There you go. And
RK likes the P. I like the shit.
Mm-hmm. Word up. Hey, Thimber. Yeah, buddy. I see you in the chat. Get the word out, everybody. The original link does not work. OBS doesn't work well with my fat fingers, I guess. So, yeah.
Sure. It's OBS's problem now.
Yep.
Of course.
I'm blaming it on
OBS. We were. Let's pretend that we were not like during 5 minutes discussing how you screwed up here on the stream here.
I mean, yeah, it happens. Bob screws up. Thimber, you didn't miss anything. Well, actually, you did miss some stuff, but you know, it wasn't. It wasn't live worthy. Yeah. But anyway. As always, the show will be broadcast tomorrow on all audio platforms, so catch it wherever you catch your podcasts at, and hit that like, subscribe button, and leave a comment. It helps the channel out a lot. We've got a longtime friend of the channel with us today, the Wize Gamer. Sir, how are you doing? What have you been playing, and what are you drinking?
Well, thank you for inviting me on tonight. Yes, I am, as ever, the Wize Gamer, the man who brings the fun and dysfunctional. So, yeah, basically, been playing this week. Actually, been going into my backlog a little bit. Been playing Octopath Traveler 2. There's 2 new major RPGs that came out this week that I'm really interested in. One is on the PlayStation platform. Well, it's not really an RPG. It's the Legend of Kanzaro. It's like a Metroidvania, and I'm interested in Metroidvania, so I'm looking forward to playing that. And I'm also playing between Octopath Traveler 2. I'm playing also the Ludian Chronicles. I think I'm pronouncing the name wrong. Ludian Chronicles, 100 Heroes. It's on Xbox Game Pass. It is basically the spiritual successor to Suikoden. So if you guys remember Suikoden back in the day, you would go around into the RPG world, collect all these people to come to your village, and that will build up your village, and you can then, take some of these people on quests and everything. It's Suikoden basically in another skin. So yeah, I've been playing a lot of that. I know Stellar Blade's out, and I know a couple other good games are out, but right now, like in the mood that I'm in right now, I've just been having a pretty stressful couple of weeks. Mainly because number one, my one of my German shepherds passed away. We had to put her down, and finals weeks for college are coming up. So, or here. So, been grading papers and everything like that. So, when I get home at night, I'm mentally like sort of exhausted. I don't want to play something as fast paced as a Stellar Blade or Dragon's Dogma 2. So I've been playing something a little bit more relaxed. So Octopath Traveler 2 is really good. It's really slow paced, but the music is next fucking level. It's so good. It's so relaxing. And I mean, at the end of the day, everyone plays games for different reasons. I play it, number one, to have fun, but number two, also sometimes to wind down. And Octopath Traveler 2 and a Union Chronicles, the game, they both scratched that itch wonderfully. So yeah, thank you for having me on.
Oh, nice. Yes. Well, when it comes to Stellar Blade, you don't really have to play it. Just kind of rubber band one of your analog sticks to the right, so that she'll walk around in circles and jiggle the butt. And that's
I mean, I do. Yeah, that's what I did. I played the demo and I masturbated about 4 times, threw away the controller that got a permanent stick drift, and I pretty much had my fill with that.
Oh,
I mean, when you've watched everything on Pornhub, you got to go to the other resources, right? So there you go.
That's right. That's what's next. Mr. Fabio, sir, how are you doing?
Yep.
Are your Vikings going to get a quarterback tonight? Yes. No. Maybe so. What you been playing, brother? How you doing?
I'm great. I'm really like, oh my god, what are the Vikings going to be doing? But yeah, I'm great. Thanks so much. Always a pleasure. But like, yeah. By the way, when it comes to the Vikings, if anyone is willing to give me a quarterback, I'm really accepting. I'll make the same offer as I did for during our Game Set Live Twitter chat, Twitter DMs here, which is like, guys, I would really accept a first string defensive tackle to play as my quarterback at this point, because if we are going to stick with Sam Darnold, we are really fucked. But other than that, yeah, what I've been playing some Halo Infinite, of course, like you could have guessed. And I've been playing also some Halo Master Chief Collection. I managed to get on with the bros and played a little bit some crazy campaign co-op on Halo 3. And we finished that game. Really good, really awesome. And other than that, yeah, that's pretty much it, actually. I haven't played much.
Well, I've let's see, what have I played? I dove back into Remnant 2. Remnant 2 just had that DLC come out, the 2 of 3 for the first year, and I stopped playing Remnant 2 before the first DLC came out. Unfortunately, just kind of the nature of the way I do things, I'm always getting gameplay from the newest games and then running them during the podcast, so I tend to game jump from game to game an awful lot, and I come back occasionally, and Remnant 2 was one I came back to for the last couple days, and it is such a good game. I don't know why I stopped playing it, because it is so much fun. I mean, it is like, it's Souls with guns, but it's so much more than that, and it felt so smooth and sleek just getting back into it. That, and let's see, what else have I played? Played some Dragon's Dogma 2. Thought about going back into Senua's Sacrifice, the first Hellblade, to kind of get that last that relic that I hadn't found, but no.
Ooh, I need to get that. But like,
Yeah,
it is tempting. It is quite tempting because you finish the game once, and it's like you're missing only one achievement to
Right.
get 1000G. It's like really, fuck you. Why are you doing this to me?
but damn it, what? 900 out of 1,000? No, I just played that one.
I couldn't do it.
I know.
I couldn't
I
do it. I
did it.
played the game and I saw that one missing. I went back and played it until I got it. And I'm like, dude, when you have OCD, some shit like that is what fucks with you royally, you know. So it's like God, they knew what the fuck they were doing. They they were
Yeah,
playing 4D chess.
they
Come
knew
on
what they
now.
were
No, no,
doing
like
because there's
imagine,
there's nothing that like
like
distinguishes them from one another or anything that tells you,
Mhm.
hey, this is where you missed it, or if it would at least tell me where the area that I missed it in, then I could go back and just play that area over and over and over, and I'd be hit. Well, no, you can't
actually,
play it over and over and over because it's kind of a
no, actually, right now, Bob, I think I don't know if this was already in the game, but or if it's like since the next gen update that they've made, like you can actually select chapters from the game, and it tells you how many runes out of that many rules from on that chapter you got already, so you can know where it's missing.
see that was not there before. That was not there before. So yeah, Bob will be going back now to
Mhm.
get his 100%, definitely.
Like like this is like I'm just imagine the amount of desperation of people, or like the amount of anger of people that played Hellblade Cinema Sacrifice on the hardest difficulty,
Yep.
or really scared the shit out of them because there was all those rumors saying like if you die so many times you lose your progress, and like there's no difficulty related achievement in it. You can actually play this on the easiest
Nope.
difficulty ever and you will get everything -1.
Mhm.
Ah, for fuck's sake. Okay, who's betting that the second game is going to have the same thing where you will beat once and you get everything?
No, I think they're gonna
Possible.
do the same thing they did. Yeah.
So,
No, but let me ask you a question. If it wasn't for the fact that it was the last one to get, like, okay, so you beat the game and that was the last rune that you had left to get, and you had to go back and rehash things. That was the main reason I had to go back was because it was the last one. It
one
wasn't for
room. Just
yeah,
one room. Ah,
right.
okay.
If it
Hmm.
was like 4 or 5 runes, it wouldn't have bothered me as much, but it was like that one. It's like, okay,
Right.
I don't care about my gamer score. I don't care about the platinums. I don't care about all of that. I don't That's not the point. It's like, you know, when you look at your screen and you have everything completed except for that one vacant spot, you know,
Yep.
that's
Um,
the shit that fucks with me. That's the shit that fucks with me, not the points
that,
I'm gonna
that,
get.
no, but like that fucks with me as well. Like I got like I actually in Halo Infinite I had an achievement that was like 95% completed because I had to get all the armored cores from the campaign. This week I decided, nope, no, I'm getting this shit. I don't care. And so I got it. I managed to get it. I got the achievement. I'm like, thank you, Lord. And now I only have to deal with Master Chief Collection because in Master Chief Collection, when I played with one of my best buddies, Halo Combat Evolved on Legendary, on the Master Chief Collection, of course, we went on the level called the Library. If people don't know what is the library on Halo, it is a kind of a tough level, especially on the legendary difficulty, and it has a fucking achievement not just by completing the level, but by getting the par score on that level. You can only do that on the legendary difficulty. And Ash and my friend Ash and I, without really trying, we got at 99% of that shit.
Yep.
And we are like, and every time our Xbox's dashboards are like, oh, you remember this achievement here? You are 99% done. Ah, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, it's crazy. But, you know, I am back to. I'm looking forward to a game that comes out tomorrow on the 26th, and it is called Manor Lords. It is releasing into PC Game Pass and in Steam early access, and it's like a real time strategy game slash survival slash building type of game. And so the premise is you were raised by your father, and now your kingdom is in shambles, and now you are going to rise to the throne and build your own settlement and become your own lord, which is kind of appealing to me. I've seen some of the videos of it. It's one of the most wishlisted games right now on Steam, and PC Game Pass gets it tomorrow. And yeah, and they did say that later on it will be released on Xbox. So that's
well, that was what I was actually going to ask you about it, because I asked my panel last week about this game, because we had seen that it was I think it's been wish listed. It was actually I think it was even wish listed more than Baldur's Gate 3 was wish listed when it was there.
Yes.
So I was asking, like, okay, yeah, it looks like an RTS base builder type game akin to Age of Empires / Civilization type game, but I mean, I didn't know what was the appeal that people were like, okay, just hell bent on playing this game you get 2.5 million people to wish list it. So I was just wondering, and nobody was able to tell me what was the greatness about this game that made people wish it so much. So
well, to me, the way it looks to me is it looks like a typical RTS, but the camera angle is very unique because there are some limits with some RTS games. You can get so close and you can see some details, but the camera angle that you can acquire or that you can achieve in Manor Lords literally puts you in, you could zoom in so far that you could feel like you're sitting next to one of the settlers. I mean, you can really you can be out and look at it if you want to call it the God camera and look at it that way, as an overseer, or you can actually put yourself in their everyday life and control, and build the community that way. And I think that is, from what I've seen online, that because I did myself, because real-time strategy games, yes, they're popular with that crowd, but for a early access real-time strategy game to get the wish list, the want that this one got, I was like, well, what really is the draw? And I looked into it, and it is, part of it has to do with that camera, because from what they showed in the pre-alpha footage, you can put yourself in their everyday life as well as controlling what goes on. And yes, you do from an overseeing perspective, you do build the settlement, you build it up, and you bring it to be as a power in the land. But you can also, the people have their everyday lives that they are going on. So it's kind of like an algorithm that's running in the background where everybody's doing their own individual thing, has their own individual aspirations in their, cyber life in the game. And you can put yourself in the middle of that and follow that if you wanted to. So it's almost it's really the first real-time strategy game I think anybody's really seen where not only do you play God, but you can actually be as invested in their lives as a God would be.
So basically, you could play as God the Father and God the Son.
Exactly. I mean, it really looks neat. And PC Game Pass, if you're a Game Pass Ultimate member, PC Game Pass, man, you don't. It's a no risk. It is literally just space on your hard drive, which is the great thing about Game Pass. Just try it out.
By the way, I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm sorry to interrupt you guys in here. You can continue with this conversation, but I'll have to leave and I'll be back soon enough. All right, see you boys later.
You don't need any food. You're fat as it is.
Have fun eating.
I need food to be happy. You fuckface.
Wow.
Leave me alone. Nobody likes you. Okay.
Consider eating a fucking salad. Eat something with some greens in it. Don't eat anything that had a mother in the past. Just
you bitch.
Seriously, have a good one. Yeah.
As you all saw in the original name of the stream and the thumbnail, New Legal was supposed to be here tonight. I don't know where he's at. I think he completely forgot, or I know he's traveling tomorrow. He's either traveling tomorrow or he's got a meeting or something tomorrow. So he was concerned about the length of the show tonight, and when I said that it would be no more than 2 hours, he was definitely a go. It sounded cool. But now he's not here, so I don't know what's going on. New Illegal, if you're listening, or if anybody knows of him, we hope you're okay. We hope it's not a tragedy that it's kept you from being in our presence this evening. But the show must go on. Oh, yeah.
Oh, we do have a celebrity in our midst. We have Mr. Bushido in the chat. So we just want to say hello, Mr. Bushido. Hopefully everything is going well with you. And yeah.
Yes, Mr. Bushido needed to have a follow-up procedure. Everybody, he's doing fine. This is just a technicality to help improve his life a little more than already was improved. And so he couldn't be with us this evening. And Yusovini is traveling, and he wants everybody to know that it's not fun traveling. He's not traveling today to do something he enjoys doing. He's traveling today because he has to. And those two cannot be with us this evening. And I had New Legal and Wize. They were supposed to come in as the heavy lifters and carry the stream, and well, so Wize.
I'm doing my little test.
Yeah, you got to do the job of two people. Wize. All right, ready.
I'm fat enough to be two people, so go ahead.
Oh
yeah.
I don't know, man.
Let's do this.
I don't know, man. I hear you running off a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got. So when I was in college, got one of my scholarships was for cross country, but then like after college, I got sick with 1, 2, 3 bouts of cancer and everything, and then with the steroids and everything, I got way out of shape because steroids are a messy drug. And then after that, after I got a little bit of stabilized, I decided to drop some weight and go back to my normal running self. I actually 2 weeks before I got diagnosed with cancer for the first time, I qualified for the Boston Marathon, which was like a big deal for me, and I wanted to go, but my wife at that time, my wife was like, during that time, like, there's no fucking way I'm going to let you run after you've been diagnosed with this. So my goal is right now that I've been 3 years in remission, I want to go back and compete in Boston. That is a personal goal. So they definitely can't run 24.6 miles right now, but up to 12. So yeah, doing good. Doing good. So yeah.
Awesome. Bob here needs to actually get on the Peloton a lot more than yeah.
Well, it's not the exercise. Like the problem is people think, oh yeah, it's easy to go and exercise. Like when I was very heavy, my heaviest was like 350, and it's not a pleasurable experience. So what I did was I just decided to not eat any. Like I went on this thing where I didn't eat breakfast and lunch, and I just ate one meal for dinner. And once I started dropping a sizable amount of weight, that's when I started exercising. So yeah, that's what I would probably recommend anyone else doing. Like, because when you're walking at 250 pounds, that's like carrying a backpack full of stones and walking. It is not a fun experience at all. So yeah, I mean,
I weigh 335.
Be lazy. Well, I mean, you could probably carry yours different. You're probably taller than me too.
I'm 6'6".
Shit, yeah, you're fucking taller than me. I'm 5'9".
Damn.
So yeah, shit, yeah. But no. I like, to me, I don't do all of this carbs and protein and that's my wife thing. She'll count calories and shit. I count enough on a day-to-day basis as a teacher. I don't need to count anymore. I want to eat what the fuck I want to eat. That's why I run like a madman, so I can eat what the fuck I want. Like tonight after the stream, guess what I'm eating? I'm eating a fucking greasy ass Five Guys burger, and you know what? Nice. I'm gonna fucking enjoy it.
Nice, I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So we've digressed enough. We're gonna hop right into it. So, yes, Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2, and so this is pretty big, people. This game is actually it's not just big because it is the sequel to one of the what I consider one of the better games of all time, Senua's Sacrifice. But and it's not just a big deal because it comes after the acquisition. You know, Senua's Sacrifice was out before the acquisition, and now we got Senua's Saga, which is really, I guess, other than Starfield, one of the biggest heavy hitters so far since Microsoft went on this acquisition spree. But Digital Foundry has actually went out, and if you've not seen their tech review on Senua Saga, I encourage everybody to go and watch it. They start talking about the stuff that's being used in. Oh, yeah, the draft just fired up, so I'm getting sports alerts. There you go. Mute, mute, mute. So, Digital Foundry went out and they said that as far as Unreal Engine 5 goes, this game, Senua's Saga, is going to be using every page in the playbook. It is throwing the entire graphical kitchen sink at these at this console, and they even went as far as to say that this could be or they expect this to be the graphical pinnacle thus far for this generation. With that being said, it has been stated by the developer that you're not going to have any graphical options on your Xbox Series X. The current, if you go by the mathematics, the current most powerful console will not allow you to choose whether or not frames over quality. You're going to get this thing baked, and I use that term loosely, baked, just the way the developer wants to give it to you. And that's not sitting too well with a lot of people, because if you've played a lot of 30 frames per second games, then if that's mostly what you play, then you probably won't notice it. But for me, I've delved into a lot of 60 frames and a lot of 120 frames to the point where that, to me, that feels natural. And when I try and play a 30 frames per second game, it doesn't affect me so much in combat. But when I pan the camera in the world, I feel like I'm looking at a slideshow, because you can definitely see that from side to side. And yeah, I don't know. And with the time that this game has been in development, and we've seen a delay or two, and for not knowing really sure when it was going to come out for so long, and now we've got a definite date, which if they've given you a definite date, we've had this definite date for a few months now. That tells me that they are ready. The devs are ready. The game is ready. Can't be that ready if you don't have any options for the gamers to experience this. Wize, what's going on, dude?
Okay, there's two things going on. Okay, first of all, there's one thing to be said about the developer choice. Okay, the developer decides at the offset what type of graphical fidelity that they want their games to run, what type of graphical powerhouses, what they want the game to look like, etc. And they sort of know what FPS that they are aiming for. Now, could they have done an uncapped frame rate for this game? Yeah, they probably could have, but I think for what they are trying to achieve graphically, they're like, okay, well, we would rather have a stable 30 than a sporadic 60 or a more compromised 60. And I think they opted for the former because of the type of game it is. Senua's Hellblade 1 was not really a fast-paced Demon Souls type game. It was more of a, and I don't want to say this and people think I'm insulting anybody here, it is not. It is a walking simulator in the best of ways, in the sense that like you walked from one place to another and you like sort of absorb the surroundings, and there was some a little bit of combat, but the combat wasn't so fast paced as your like Soulsborne types games. So they're like, you know what, we don't really need to give them the 60, because for what our game is doing and what we want this game to achieve. Now, you say, Bob, that you are watching this game and you feel like it's a slideshow, but you just said earlier when you were saying what games you were playing, you said you did play Dragon's Dogma 2. Dragon's Dogma 2, what are you playing it on though? Because that game is atrocious. I don't care what you're running that thing on. That thing is going up and down everywhere, right?
Correct. I am playing it on the Xbox Series X.
So is it bothering you? Is that what you're using as your litmus, as this is what a 30 FPS game will look like or something, or what?
So let's get one thing straight. The uncapped frame rate that you experience in Dragon's Dogma 2, they've even went out. This has been documented. They have shown this, that when you're out in the world of Dragon's Dogma 2 and you're actually having combat, and when the CPU isn't, because this isn't a GPU issue by no means. This is a Zen 2 GPU issue with handling the threads of the NPCs in the cities. Yes, the cities are janky. I'm not going to lie to you. But I've not let it bother me, because I go into the cities. I'm not going into the cities to like look at the architecture and stuff of the buildings like I did when I was in Germany a couple years ago for Gamescom. I'm there for a specific purpose, for a specific quest. The one time that I did experience a Cyclops in the foyer, the kind of part of the main city where you catch the ox cart, that was a little troubling as far as frame rate goes, but in the world it's pretty consistent. It's not a locked 60 by no means, but is it in the high 40s and the low 50s to mid 50s all the time in the main world? It pretty much. It's only when you get into those wide spaces of NPCs where whether you know it or not, before you even click on the NPC to talk to them, whether or not they even have just one line to give you, that one line has already been loaded whenever you get close to them. So, yes.
Well, you see that, okay, so but the problem is with that game is that game keeps going from one frame rate to another frame rate to another frame rate. Okay, that's the problem. Whereas I think with this game, it's going to keep a solid 30. And see, as human beings, we don't really notice stability. We only notice contrast. Okay, so like for example, things are more sweet when we eat something sour or salty on before that, right? That's how we tell with our senses when our senses change from one perspective to the other. If this thing is solid 30, I think what's going to happen is that you're not going to be able to. You might notice it because it may not be as fluid as a 60 FPS game, but it will not bother you as much as you think it will, because it's a consistent 30. And that's what I think it's going to do. Let's be honest with one another. None of these consoles, whether it's the PlayStation, whether it's the Xbox, I don't care what you want to say, is capable, I think right now, of running a full UE5 at 60. This is what's compelling PlayStation, I think, in many manners, to release their Pro variant right before GTA 6 comes out, because they do want that 60. So the fact that Xbox is unable to run a UE5 game at 60 does not mean anything, because I don't think the other side could do it either. I think you do need more of a CPU headroom. And they're probably looking at, okay, well, do we want to do a situation where we might get 30, 40, 50 here and there fluctuating, or do we want to say tether to a 30 and have nobody notice it going up and down because it's going to be locked at 30? And if they can lock it at 30 and keep it that way and nobody can tell the difference, I don't think anyone, especially with the type of game this game is going to notice the difference. And I think everyone is making a big deal out of pretty much nothing.
Well, we don't.
By
So
by the way, I'm back. But like I think okay, he just left and he's not gonna listen to me. But no worries at all. I'll say it anyways. Like I think it's interesting that the Wise Old Gaming decided to like bring the fact of the PlayStation 5 Pro. But we need to keep in mind also that if the rumors are going to be true in terms of like what this console is going to be doing, not even with their Pro version, they are going to be able to achieve 60 FPS on GTA 6. Like we are, and like by the way, we are talking about rumors. We are talking about speculation. That like there's no confirmation. None of us are insiders. But like based on what we know so far from leaks and rumors and this and that, is that even though they are having that like okay, we need to get a pro version of our console to because GTA 6 is coming right around the corner, and no, it is not going to be running at 60 FPS. So like, but I do definitely agree with you there that yeah, these consoles right now, I'm not necessarily am going to say that like is all the console's fault, because we all know that when it comes to having good performance and good resolution in games comes down to two factors. One is the hardware, the other one, and which I think is the most important, special, is optimization.
Mhm.
If the developers are not willing to optimize the game properly for that specific engine, or they are not willing to optimize the game properly for that sort of hardware, we are never going to be getting that, or it's going to take years and years and years for some game on the UE5 to be running at 60 FPS. Like, remember when even like people were saying, and like I think it's funny how right now everyone is saying something like because 60 FPS is what you can always get on PlayStation, and you can never trust Xbox to get it or something like that. And PlayStation and UE5 is going to be so great, mate. Like, do you do know that UE5 demo before? And we saw that beautiful UE5 demo. You guys remember when that got
Mhm.
announced? The
Mhm.
girl running on those desert temples, like beautiful as like amazing, amazingly beautiful. But it was running at 40 FPS. Were people
And
complaining back
and
then?
don't forget that it had no NPCs, it had no AI, it had nothing in there besides
Exactly.
playing the game.
Besides the
Like whatever.
structure and that one person. Exactly. So when it comes to like, you guys are talking about Hellblade 2 probably, right? Like when it comes to Hellblade 2, yes, it sucks that it's not going to be running at 6 FPS. I am a fan of 6 FPS, of course. But like, if we're not going to be getting 60 FPS in this, then you must deliver something to justify that on other departments, on other effects, on other assets that you are using. And for what we know, for what we've been seeing on, especially during the Xbox Developer Direct, is that Hellblade 2 is the best look so far, the best looking UE5 game out there.
But that
If
you say that
is it
because
going
like
to be when it gets released? We have to wait
okay,
and see. But for what we know
I
and for
have
what
to.
everyone is saying, that's a thing.
I
I'm
have
just
to.
talking about what everyone is saying.
I have
Like,
to interject here because
come
we
on.
may be contrasting between two different games here. If you think about Senua's Sacrifice, okay, a lot of those battles that Senua was in, they were one-on-one battles. They were scripted, and they were in an arena type area with the world in between those areas. Like, okay, what you see on screen right now with everybody remembers the beach scene that they show with Senua and they're attacking this giant that comes in from the ocean and whatnot. What I think we're going to get from Senua's Saga is a HUD-less gameplay. You're not going to have a HUD. You're not going to have stats on the screen. What you see is actual gameplay. Now, if we're breaking from the arena type battles or fights interactions that we had from Senua's Sacrifice, and in Senua's Saga, we're more of an, like right now, you're a few seconds behind me, but when Senua goes and she throws this spear at this giant on the beach, is this gameplay or is this a scripted video? Because if this is gameplay, it's almost as if you're in a closed-in open world scenario where you're throwing the spear, but you've got everything else going around you. Do I think you'll notice 30 frames per second in this open world type closed off interact? Yes, I do. Do I think you would have noticed it in the arena type that we're thinking of when we think of Senua's Sacrifice? No, I don't, because that can be a controlled environment with, you know, with bounds and hard stops. You don't really see the whole world around you. You have this more centralized area that you are focusing on. I think Senua's Sacrifice, or Senua's Saga, sorry, because of all the emphasis they've put on bringing the world of Iceland to life, I think we're going to still have some of those set pieces where it is a closed off area that we are seeing battles that happened in the way they happened in Senua's Sacrifice. But do I think we're going to see a lot more of the open world feeling battles like we see with this beach scene with the giant coming in from the ocean? Yes, I do. And I think we could
But like,
see 30 frames. I mean, it really comes down to frame. If the frame pacing is on point, then it'll help the game out tremendously.
like
I
we
see-
need to go on.
No,
No
but
worries.
also people are not really focusing in on another aspect. People, when they talk about the first Hellblade, we always look at it with rose-colored glasses, saying, "Oh, it is a good game for what it is," in the sense that there was what? How many people developed the first one? It was like
20.
they were. You know, it was
20
like 20 people, right?
Yeah,
So
20
nobody
people.
was really faulting them. And the game was like that. That was the loop of the game. You had an exploratory area where you had to find these runes and match it up into your visual thing that would unlock something. And then you would get into a room
Yes.
or an arena where you fought with this one guy
Yeah.
or two guys, and then you
Or
would do another exploration
guys.
scene. And and you know,
Yes.
whatever, right? Yeah. So
So on.
so what the problem people are saying is, if you can do this type of game with 20 people, why can't you do this now that you have Microsoft money? But the thing they fail to realize is the team did not grow exponentially with Microsoft money. They took the money and invested it in another way. They invested it in a smaller team so they could be more mobile, because they even the development head said, we don't want to grow this thing to 1,000 people or 500 people. We want to grow. We
Work
want to
with
make this
better-
small.
with smaller teams.
Yes.
Right, we're
That's
better off with
something-
smaller teams.
I mean, if you
So-
We need to we need to keep in mind that Microsoft, since the moment Microsoft decided to shut down press play games and Lionhead games, Microsoft, after that and after acquiring Mojang and Minecraft, they have been trying to, as much as possible, to have a hands-off approach on their development studios, in terms of like, you do your game the way you want to make and how you want to make it, and this is how you are going to be doing. And that is what sold Ninja Fury to Microsoft. That's what sold the Microsoft's proposition to Ninja Fury to acquire them. Like, because Ninja Fury was like, we want to make the games the way we usually make, with no interference whatsoever, with no one telling us how to make it, and without having to be part of this fucking microtransaction, big AAA machine that we see over and over and over. And Microsoft said, well, if you join us, you can
How
have
about it?
all that plus the resources of marketing, technology groups, research groups, blah blah blah, and that's it. And like from 20 people on the previous game, this game now has 100.
So it's fine. No, but also you have to understand, not, and this is what I was always I talk about in my podcast over and over again. Back in the day, when you talk about with and Fabio, you're probably too young to remember this. Like with the NES back in the day, and the Super NES and the Genesis, the games were created like in one genre. Like for example, if you had a beat 'em up, you only had a beat 'em up. If you had a platformer, you only had a platformer, and it was a specified genre, and that's the type of game you had. And because you had so many constraints, because the power of the chips were so much weaker back then, so the game was defined by the constraints that was set up for that game. Now the problem is, now with today's society, put your armpits down. I can smell that shit from here. Okay.
This, and new legal has joined the group.
No,
Oh
you
my
need to fucking
God,
shave those
dude!
armpits,
You
man.
gotta not.
Man.
You don't have to
And
shake.
y'all, hey, we'll
Oh
have
my
a
God.
battle.
Fabio,
really,
quite contrary, shave your pits. It's
Weather
too
down
damn
in
hairy.
Texas, man.
are you really going to complain about? I'm sorry if I'm a man. God damn it.
No, but let me say this, and I'll have legal come in and say whatever he wants to say. But let me say this. So, like, there are still developers out there that want to only make one genre, and they, when they do that, they do a phenomenally fucking good job at it. Like, if you look at Baldur's Gate 3, it is unapologetically a RPG. If you don't like isometric RPGs, you're not gonna fucking like Baldur's Gate 3. I don't care how phenomenal that goddamn game is. So there are developers who are making games based off of what they want. And Ninja Theory wants to make a graphical powerhouse game. Now, if you're going to make a graphical powerhouse game, will you have to make compensations elsewhere? Yes, you will, because budgets are not infinite. Manpower is not infinite. So they said, okay, based on the game that we're making and the speed of the game, that the speed of the gameplay loop that we're embracing, we don't need the 60 like you would do if you were making another Demon Souls or a Spider-Man or some shit like that. We're good with this, but we're going to take the same power that we can use to increase the FPS. We would rather use all the graphical bells and whistles at our disposal. And you know what? I see nothing fucking wrong with that. Go for it. Knock it out the park, but make sure you make the best fucking game they've seen. That's all I got to say.
I really agree, because people are, for some reason, people are trying to compare this game to, like, oh, but Sony in Horizon Forbidden West has managed to make a game at 6 FPS. I'm not trying to bash Sony. I'm not trying to bash Horizon Forbidden West, because I know that game is good for what people told me, or for what people are saying, or for videos that I saw from the game. But like, guys, we are talking about a game that was released on the PlayStation 4 generation. We're talking about Unreal Engine 4. And this game,
But
Hellblade 2,
also
is
don't
Unreal
forget.
Engine 5, God damn it.
And Horizon Forbidden West, you're fighting a fucking robotic ass Tyrannosaurus Rex, okay? You need you need that. Okay, go ahead.
Go on, Diego. Please.
Despite all the shit that he talked about you before you walked in, though. I'm just kidding. Just
Hey guys, hey, thanks for welcoming me, man. I'm sorry I'm late. You know how it is, man. We got bad weather out here. I was getting ready for a trip, and I didn't get home on time like I was supposed to. But I'm glad to make it, man, and I'm glad to be in the presence of you guys, man. It's good to be in the presence of people who really like and love to demonstrate the culture and how we really think about games. You know, seeing you guys, man, put that passion out here. You know, a lot of times people think, man, that we're really on this tube, or we're really in this Discord, or we're really in wherever we're at, right? because we're just dying so hard to get money from people, or we're just dying so hard to to be we want to be known, and we just want to make money, and no matter what, man, we just want people to give us money on wherever we're at, right? But that's not necessarily true with all of us. Some of us, we're just glad that we got a mic.
Mm-hmm.
We're just glad that we're able to spread some good knowledge, because that's what's lacking out here, right? And a lot of times that's not very popular, and we know the realm that we're in. But that's the realm that's always been here. It's social. YouTube has not always been here. So that's not a factor when it comes to the culture of gaming. You know, content creating ain't the culture of gaming. What you guys are doing right now, that's the culture of gaming, and I salute you guys for preserving it, man. For preserving it. So I want to say once again, thank y'all for having me in the presence of you guys, man. Y'all do fantastic work. Y'all do fantastic job, and don't worry about nothing, man. Just keep doing what you're doing, because there's a lot of people out here, man, that like what y'all do, man. But back to
Ladies
the
and
subject,
gentlemen,
man.
New legal doesn't speak for everybody. New legal doesn't speak for everybody. I want my fucking money. KY, the check better be in the
Yeah. I was about to say that. I was about to say that. By the way, Bob, is the check coming? Like,
Yeah, definitely was.
like we both thought the same thing. Like,
I don't know what the fuck this man's talking about right here. I don't know. We need our money.
New legal. Here's the thing. Out of passion, like we understand. You may be doing this out of passion. We're doing this for the green.
Legal, speak for your damn self. Speak for
Yeah,
your
speak
damn
for your own goddamn self. That's right, man. That's just shit. Dude. Keep your own comments to your own fucking self, man. Man's paying us. What the fuck you talking? What's the problem? You know? Shit.
So, new legal. What we're talking about, new legal, is with the development time and the emphasis and the spotlight and everything that Senua's Saga has gotten for the Xbox brand, for the developer, and now we find out that we are getting it. It's basically a baked version for the consoles. You're not going to have any graphical settings. You're going to play it with basically in quality mode, 30 frames a second. And so, how do you feel about that? Do you think that if the frame pacing is good, then nobody will care, or do you think the diehards are going to hammer this home as a disappointment?
I think as long as we've been out here as gamers, it's a shame that we're even talking about it, right? And we're gonna sit up here and act like we got games out here like this game, right? Running at 120 or running at 60. You know, that's that's the thing that cracks me up. We don't have games like this that come around and they're just of abundance. So like my man was saying, all we're anticipating is what is expected, right? We bought the Series X because we expect a next gen experience. And so if we're gonna be part of a next gen experience, the very first thing we want to do is blow the visuals out the park, right? Nobody bought a Series X. I'm talking about an X. Nobody bought a Series to have low visuals. Nowhere. That's defeating the whole purpose, right? So when we look at frame rate, we already understand as real gamers that when because see, one thing about console, it don't go by the laws of the God laws of latency. That's on PC. So when you're on PC, you're constantly adjusting, making settings and all that. So whatever you're gonna do is either gonna give that game a higher frame rate, or it's gonna take the quality of the image. There's not a PC gamer alive that can escape the latency god, right? But on console, things are more locked in. They're more precise. They're more technical. They're more optimized. And so what a developer can truly do on a console is that their vision can be sealed. On PC, they can't seal their vision because PC is open, and you can't tell open platforms in the PC realm what to do. So that's why it's all customizable on the PC side of things. It doesn't necessarily mean, right, because you got the version of PC that you're playing the best version.
Good question, big dog.
What's up, homie?
I'm about to ask you that.
You asked me to paint on this bad boy? Yeah. Obsidian black.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah. I had that because I was like, is this another car or is it the same person?
Yes. You good, fam? I'm gonna run it through here and run back to the crib. I gotta get clean. Sorry about that, man. That's a live and direct moment. We in Texas, man. You get people to just stop you. It's that Southern hospitality down there. That man wants to know my paint job. That's all. But
For one moment, I thought, did someone just join the
Yeah,
Discord?
I thought we had a new guest. I was
thought
like,
he was,
what?
I thought he was. No, I thought he was picking up a hooker or something. I thought he was talking to a pimp of some kind. Like, hey, I want that one, not that one. You know, so shit like that. It's okay, man. It's okay. It all spends the same.
We doing this right through a car wash, man. We still doing this. It's what we do, right? So yeah, man. You know, it's like we're looking at everything. Like my man was saying, you knocked it out the park. It's simple. It's common sense. They told us, you know, this game is going to be heavy cinematic. It's basically a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you know what? You want to know what's silly, man? My guy over here. Here's what's silly, Wize old gamer. That we've been told that it's a cinematic movie game, right? But but we've been told that cinematic word has been used for plenty of walkthrough games. So we didn't get that. But there was something unique about their description about Hellblade 2 when they said it's going to be a heavy cinematic movie experience, to the point where if you do your research about movies, they're at 24 frames per second, right? That's the cinematic movie standard, 24 frames per second. The fact that this game is going to be 30 frames per second already puts it on a whole other scale when we're considering movies, right? A movie feel. Now, when you think about that, you wonder to yourself, man, this game is going to be 9 hours long. Now, I got a question to everybody here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who has ever watched a 9-hour movie? Wize old gamer, you get where I'm going?
Yeah, fuck yeah. But I do watch a 9-hour movie. I watch the Lord of the Rings series over and over every year. So fucking
Right,
yeah.
you gotta watch it. Right.
And it's gotta be
You stole my,
and
you
it's gotta
stole my
be the
example, you
extended
ass.
edition.
No, that's right. That's right. No, he's right. And you gotta watch, but it's a what you call it? It's a sequence. It's too big to watch at one time. We all know that, right? It's a sequence.
Yeah, you
gotta
No, I
have
watch it at one fucking time.
That's right. You're not gonna get one disc, and it's the 9-hour complete version of that
No,
movie.
you don't
right?
understand. When I watch that fucking movie, when my wife tells me go clean the attic, I'm like, okay, after this fucking movie ends, that's when I'll watch it. 9 hours later.
Right, you gotta. That's all three. That's the whole trilogy. That's all three. This game is 9 hours long, movie style. The only difference is you're controlling it now. This game is gonna be long because you're looking at it like, man, that's 9 hours of a movie. We're gonna be actually a part of this character. You're going to be feeling like you're in this movie, right? But it's a game. It's like my man said, give us all the visuals. It's got all the ray tracing. It's got everything that we've asked for. Okay, we understand that 60 frames, 100 frames ain't gonna do. 90 frames, that's not gonna do when you're pushing that heavy, right? So if it's 30 frames per second, it's buttery smooth. The humans feel like humans, because let's be for real. When you're playing a movie cinematic game at 60 frames per second, it doesn't feel realistic. We've done that. You know, the faster the move, nobody's moving like that. They want you to go through this thing, soaking up everything. So the 30 frames is understandable. Now, let's make a scenario, right? Now, if the game was 60, if they were able to make the game 60, right, and everything worked out just perfectly, then yeah, all of us will be wanting that. But like my man said, we're getting a quality mode only. It's locked in. It's what they desired. What did the guy from what Ninja Theory say about maybe 2 weeks ago? He said, listen, if you got a PC and you want to play this game at 60, knock yourself out. He said, but just don't think that that's the best version of this game. Don't get mad when it's not feeling right, because they've already done it. They was like, it just doesn't feel right.
But you see, the thing is this: I don't see anyone fucking belly aching and bitching about Telltale games. Telltale games or all of that other shit. They run at whatever they want. So what people look at, and I think this is the main problem with this game. People have been wanting Xbox to have an answer for Sony's over-the-shoulder experience, and this is like a really close to that. Well, no, it's coming really close to that, and that's what they want. They want that Sony.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Now, this game, in my opinion, when I play the first one and I'm looking at the second one, this game reminds me more. It has more similarities to the Telltale type games than they do to your Horizons and your God of Wars, in my opinion. So if I'm not going to sit here and bitch about a Telltale game and the speed at which it's running at, why should I sit here and complain about this guy in this game when it's offering me a lot more? So you know what? And if they're going to give me a 30 and as I said, you can only perceive things when things change. When you're in the jacuzzi and it's nice and fucking hot, you don't feel hot. Your ass feels cold when you get outside of that goddamn jacuzzi. Okay, that's the way your body. That's how you notice things when things change. If this thing is at 30 on the first second of the game and the 10th hour of that game, you're not going to be able to notice it. Yeah,
that's right. You're locked in. You don't. You're right. There's no change that happens. You're happy. That's right.
And we need to take into consideration that, like, goddamn it, it's just like what you were saying, like, if the experience that the game is providing me is good and it justifies the fact that we are getting the 40 FPS and the FPS feels good even though it is at 30. And what's the matter with you? Like, let's be honest, like Starfield. We all played Starfield.
Yep.
Did anyone here, like, be very honest, and if you got like troubled by the 40 FPS, be honest as well. You can say it's no worries at all, but like, I played Starfield at 40 FPS and I didn't care because it was fun as hell. Anyways.
Fabio, watch this, Fabio. Who the hell moves fast in space?
A
you
rocket.
see what I'm saying? Right.
Those goddamn aliens that Ripley was fighting. Those motherfuckers.
Those goddamn.
Those little bastards. Yourself. Man, shit, yeah. So
but no, be serious. Like, that was the beauty of Starfield to me. Each solar system provided planets that had similarities to Earth.
Different gravities.
Different gravities. There you go.
Different
that creative detail right there is what makes the game to me. Every planet ain't going to be the same. Every atmosphere ain't going to be the same. Every gravity hold ain't going to be the same because it's really not. Right? It's all based off of where it centers at in that solar system. Paying attention to that detail, you can't have it locked somewhere. 30 feels perfect for it. Even at 60, it would feel good. It wouldn't feel bad because we're shooting. But the fact that it is 30, no one complained because it felt natural. But I am hoping that this next big update is 60. I am. Because 60 is going to perfect it. It's going to perfect it. For the fact that we got guns and stuff. Yep.
Like, let's of course not be hypocrites here. We're not saying that we don't like 60 FPS. We're not saying that 60 FPS is the worst thing ever, and 40 FPS is the standard because it's so much better. We would prefer to have it at 60 FPS, both Starfield and Hellblade too. But when you take into consideration the amount of physics and the open world that is going on in Starfield, you think that right now with the technology that we have, and also with the engine that Bethesda was using on that game, you really think that it was going to be able to run at 60 FPS? Or like, you take into consideration the Unreal Engine 5 at Hellblade, and even Digital Foundry themselves said that they are taking the engine to its limits.
No, it's limits. That's right.
And if you think that is going to be taken at its limits in terms of resolution, effects, shadows, reflections, and all of those assets, even like hair and skin details, they are knocking out of the park for what people are saying.
To
And like
quote,
you really expect for it to run at 60 FPS right now on the next generation console? We hope so.
to quote,
Right now, we would
to
wish
quote
for,
Digital
we would wish for,
Foundry.
but
To quote Digital Foundry, they said that Senua Saga uses every page out of the UE5 book. So, I mean, we've seen some
That's
games.
incredible.
We've seen some games like RoboCop, Rogue City, that have been had that really leaps and bounds used a lot more than any other. But Senua Saga is using everything that UE5 has. And yeah, as long as the frame pacing is solid, then I don't think we'll have an issue with it at all.
If it doesn't keep dropping over and over, that would be amazing, honestly. But like, and we need to take into consideration that people are probably going to be saying, "Oh, but there is so many assets that are auxiliary to somehow help with the frame rates in terms of increasing. You have FSR3, you have this, you have that, you can have some sort of FPS boost as well. Okay, but not every developer is using those. If there was the thing, there would be a lot of games on the Xbox Series S that developers would be putting all of those tools, and it will be running at 60 FPS. But I'm talking about, like, for example, Ghost Recon Breakpoint points from Ubisoft.
Right.
It got a next generation update, but it's running at 40 FPS.
Well, here's the more interesting question here, okay? And I do want to do a little bit of pushback, because you know what? If we're all going to sit here and kumbaya one another, then one of you guys is asked to masturbate me, because my hands getting tired. But anyhow, just to be a little bit of a pushback here. Okay.
Sure, go on.
Yeah. Just to spice it up a little bit. What's going to be interesting is to see Gear 6. Because Gear 6, we've heard through the again, all of this is speculation. Okay, this is all fucking speculation, right?
Yes, sir.
We know they say that it's like the most phenomenal thing that they've seen, those who've seen it, and it's supposed to be announced this year. And we know Coalition when it comes to Xbox's first party game developers, they are like the de facto, they are the experts of the Unreal Engine, right? So my thing is, okay, I'm okay with this game being 30 as long as it's a solid 30 and I'm not getting fluctuations that I can see stuttering, okay? But my question is, okay, what is Gears going to run at? Because Gears, on the other hand, needs to run at 60. That game definitely needs to run at 60.
Well,
so if it's running at 60, go ahead.
If you look at Gears 5,
you were saying?
Gears 5.
We know what Gears. Okay, so a Gears guy like myself, I'm gonna tell y'all what it's gonna run. It's easy. Gears 5 is gonna run 4K 60 on campaign, and it's gonna run 4K 120 multiplayer. That's it.
I disagree.
We
did that already.
No. Are you talking about on console or on
on console?
PC.
Yes.
No. But you sure it will be 4K?
Well, the reason why is because we're already doing it. Yes.
Well,
we're already doing it. We're already doing it on Gears 5. It's not. We're already doing that. So for it to not do that would be a damn shame. That's
so my question is this: if they are able to take Gear 6 and push the console to run it at 60, what concessions are they making compared to Senua's graphical fidelity? That's what I want to know.
Well,
and then it could also be a situation where the coalition is, but it could also be the coalition has a bigger team than, these guys.
Yeah,
right,
I think there's a bunch of factors, honestly. Go on, Neoligo.
Yeah, that's an easy call. We can make money off this bet. That's too easy. But it's like with Gears, it's more fast paced, right? So you won't be Gears has a way of making things look good that you're not really paying attention to, right? Unlike Hellblade 2, it's gonna be so cinematic, so visual that you can't help but to just keep your eyes focused on it because it's gonna be moving more cinematic. But Gears, you're gonna be moving around. You're gonna be the enemies are gonna be coming at you, you know. But the beautiful thing about Gears is when things slow down and it goes into its story mode and they're talking and things and you're gonna see that and when you go into when you go down into the hive, if we even do that again, we go down to the hive, you're gonna be compelled at all how the lighting affects the dark and the gothic aspects of Gears, the music. It's just more to it than just it being cinematic. We know it's an action-paced third-person shooter, so it has its way of not having to make every little single detail a thing for your eye, but at the same time, if you stop and just look, you're gonna be in awe. That's kind of like the magic of Gears. Gears of War, it does that to you.
But like when I do agree with that because Gears like Gears 5 looks really incredible even on the Series S. My console is a Series S and like it looks amazing honestly in both the campaign and the multiplayer. But when it comes to how if they get the next Gears of War to run at 60 FPS on the Unreal Engine 5, what's the difference from that to the Hellblade team? Like, I think there's a series of factors because we're talking
Right.
about a team that would be bigger than the Hellblade team. Hellblade 2, for what we know, it's a team of 100 people. Not just that, we're talking about a team at the Coalition that has been working with the Unreal Engine 5 since the moment it got
That's right.
released for developers
That's
to
right.
use. Like we need to remember that the Coalition helped
That's
to
right.
do that Matrix demo. Of course, it ran at 30 FPS. We know that, but like that was what 2020, 2021, and the
That's
other
right.
factor, is like time. We have time of development and time of expertise. And when it comes to the Unreal Engine, I think that the Coalition is the best studio from Xbox. That like we are the masters of the Unreal Engine 5. Like I'm honestly curious of how even
That's right.
343 I'm even actually curious of how even 343 themselves are going to be doing the next Halo on Unreal Engine 5 because I know it's probably
Is
not going
that
to be as
is
good
that
as
cemented
the
now?
Coalition.
Is that
Like,
actually cemented now? Is that confirmed?
yeah, for what? Like, this is in terms of like the rumors that people are saying they are going to be using the Unreal Engine 5, the Unreal Engine
I hope
for the
so.
next Halo
So
game.
my question to you, as somebody who's going to give you a little bit of pushback, it's fun having a little bit
Oh,
of
of
pushback.
course.
Okay,
Of
is
course,
it
no
Yeah.
worries.
okay? If the coalitions are the experts and they are able to get Gear 6 running at 60 with a decent graphical fidelity, why can't they share that with Ninja Theory and why can't they do it?
Okay,
That's
What is
that's an
preventing
ama-
them?
They
that,
can't.
that's of course
That's
that's an
creative.
amazing
That's
question.
creative power.
That's
I
an
mean,
amazing question.
so
No, but
yeah. To me, it's what they want to do with their game.
so the coalition,
I think that's what it comes down to.
listen, the coalition, they are masters when it comes to the Unreal Engine, but we're forgetting that Gears 5 did run on Unreal Engine 4, and yes, it did maintain
Yes.
4K 60 frames a second even through cinematics on the Xbox.
Yep.
But
Yep.
we are talking about Unreal Engine 4. We're not talking about all the bells and whistles of Unreal Engine 5. I do believe that when it comes to Unreal Engine 5, the Zen 2 CPUs that we're using in the consoles fall short. Zen 3 is that sweet spot, and unfortunately...
Okay, so basically what you're saying is that they're not going to be able to maintain a 60 solid on your Series X. Is that what you're saying? Because we are still dealing with Zen 2 even with the Series X.
there will have to be...
I got something. You remember, K-Bob? You remember when they first started doing this game, right? And you remember when they came out with the news that they were hitting it at 4K at 100. Remember? And they hadn't even used the technological power of the Series X.
Okay.
It was ultra 4K. As a matter of fact, pissed off a lot of PC people that were going around bragging. Those kind of guys. It was pissing off not just normal PC gamers, those ones that want to brag about what they got, right? So they came out and said this console is just not, like you said, you either got to know what you're doing with these engines, right? And because they're masters of it, they were able to run Gears of War 5 or Gears 5 at 4K at 100 frames per second on the Series X. How did they do that? How were they able to do that?
Well,
It's incredible to me.
there are
Without using any of the juice.
I
right, but there
like
are a
I
lot of
don't
games
know.
out
I
there
don't.
that are
I don't.
running. Go ahead.
Like I don't think one thing that I might be quite interesting is that Gears 5 will have Gears 5, Gears 6, the next Gears of War is probably going to have a realistic look and feel just like the previous games always, but I don't think they are going to over exaggerate in terms of like all the details and the shadows and reflections and
Right,
illumination
right,
and skins and hairs and
right.
they are going to do a good solid quality show there, but I don't think they are going to be like make the
Mhm.
let's take into consideration like for example Rise, Son of Rome,
They're
game
not
that
trying to
was
make you look
released.
at the light. They're not trying to make you look at the eyelashes.
Yes, like let's take into
Right.
consideration again, like a Rise of Rome. That game is like the powerhouse of graphics
Yeah, it
in terms
is.
of like the last generation. It ran at 30
Right.
FPS, and then we
Yeah.
had Gears 5. Does it look good? Of course, it looks good. Does it look better when it came out? Of course. Did it look better than Rise Son of Rome? Not necessarily, but it ran
Right.
at 60 FPS. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I think that maybe the biggest difference is in terms of like Ninja Fury wants to have that graphics just like Rise Son of Rome or even the Order experience in terms of the
Right.
graphics. While Gears of War wants to have its own thing that they've been doing since Gears 4. What the coalition
Right.
is doing what they do since Gears 4. So like is it going to feel realistic? It is. But is it going to feel like the most like let's just say jaw dropping thing ever? I don't know. I don't think they're going to over exaggerate it. Just like
Well,
Ninja
you
Fury is doing.
well,
I
you
don't
know
know.
what
I'm
they
just
said, right?
yeah.
They told us. They told us if you think Blade is something, wait till Gears of War 6 pop. That's why I'm.
Mm-hmm.
That's what could happen. I seriously think that we are about to witness some of the best gaming experiences on console than we've ever experienced in the next 2 years on Xbox, man. And that's gaming all around. I don't think nobody's gonna be able to touch them in these next 2 years before the next consoles come out. We're about to experience. We're gonna be so spoiled that we're not gonna want anything less when it comes to games like this. Now we're not talking about indies and
Mm-hmm.
there's
Mm-hmm.
because let's be honest, there's some beautiful AA games. Look at Plague Tale Requiem. Just that's the bar, right? But look, we don't
Yes,
always have to
looks really
have
good.
games like that, right? Yeah, it looks really good. We don't we're not saying that every single game that needs to come out needs to look, so graphically just mind blowing. There's games that hold their value in fun, and overall fun.
Mm.
So we're not knocking that.
Yes.
We're not saying that's the future. Every game, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We're just everybody on this panel is just kind of trying to, just try to, mix and match the fact that we're about to hit a time where we could really be doing some great things and having some great experiences on console. And
Mm-hmm.
I totally agree with you guys. I totally agree. That's what I'm waiting on. That's really what I'm waiting on. I know it's a damn shame. I know that we've been waiting this long. I know. But what can we do, right? What can we do?
Mm-hmm. Like
It's
I
like
think
my
it's
man
quite
said, get out
interesting.
here and play these games. Right.
I think it's quite interesting the facts that like we need to we even though we are like Xbox, we will always now have the mantra of saying this is the world's most powerful console ever, or the next console is going to be the biggest technological leap
Right.
ever, or stuff like that.
Right.
All that markets and PR stuff,
Thank you,
of
brother.
course, yada
Come
yada
on.
yada. But we
Bring it home,
but we
baby.
need
Bring it home.
we need to take into consideration that when this generation came out from both the Xbox Series X, Series S, and PS5, is that the biggest impression that people were having was, oh, they are starting to look like PCs. So the
Yep.
next generation is going to be more like that. So like
Yeah.
even though we have a 12 teraflop powerhouse on the Series X and a 10 teraflop powerhouse on the PlayStation 5, they continue to be the first step of that of that PC feeling like that PC capability like thing. So like I think
Right.
it's
I
interesting.
agree. Yep.
And
I agree.
considering that we are right now getting to, I think we are, I don't know, like we may be getting to the end of this generation. We are going to have some struggles. Of course, we're going to
Yeah.
be having some struggles. Anyways, you are not going to expect a console like for to be running everything at 120 FPS or 60
Exactly.
FPS every single
Right.
time to every single game that gets released with the
Correct.
technology. Like you mean to tell me that they designed the console to work flawlessly in terms of quality and technical in technical features since the moment it got created, before the engine got announced or even got
Right.
developed? Like,
Right.
oh yeah, we were doing this to be able to use the Unreal Engine 5 every single time with no issues whatsoever. Like,
Hey,
I don't necessarily think so.
so
Right.
Thember wants you all to see what he just shared at the bottom of the news
Uh,
text channel in
uh.
Discord. So click on news, and then scroll to the very bottom.
Hey, let's take a look here.
It says
It better be good.
it
If
says
it's good, I'm going to be so disappointed there.
it says leaders in Unreal Engine. The coalition has
I'm
always
I'm the
yep.
I'm disappointed, Fimber. This is
Dar, dar,
bullshit,
dar,
okay?
dar. God, that's so hateful. God, you're killing me.
That's so yeah, you know Fimber is awesome. Like I cannot address this. Of course, he's Brazilian like me, so yeah.
Goodness. But anyway, we do have to wrap things up for the evening, guys. Unfortunately, Bob's got to get ready for work.
Ready?
Yeah, I do want to say though that playing a movie for a video game is not it's not the worst thing you could do. It's actually one of the greatest things you can do.
Right.
Because I remember Quantum Break and parts
Yeah.
of Quantum Break where I forgot I was playing a game because the cutscenes were so damn long, but
Exactly.
they were so good. So
Right. Right. And to that credit, that's how they should be. So I agree with you. And when they're not like that, they're horrible.
oh yeah.
They're horrible.
I'm sorry, I had to
You're
put some,
exactly right.
I'm sorry, guys. I had to put some. I had to heat up some cops in a comforter for my kids. Oh, I mean, pigs in a blanket. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Oh man, that
God damn.
sounds good. Some pigs in a blanket.
Jeez.
Oh yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Cops in a comforter, pigs in a blanket, same thing, right?
Oh goodness.
Oh man.
Oh.
Maybe.
But on that note, yeah, we are going to run through our outros for the night. And again, I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight to hear us rant on about what we think about our expectations for Hellblade 2 Senua's Saga. And we're going to start it right at the top of the list. Mr. Fabio Amorim, sir, tell everybody where they can find you, what you've been doing, and your future aspirations as a human being.
Aspirations or perspirations?
But both. Perspirations, definitely, if he doesn't
I
shave those
might
pits.
I might. God damn. God damn.
yeah,
I am sorry if I am a man. Like, if you are really like, oh, that's gross. You have hair on your armpit. So like, for fuck's sake.
You have the Amazon forest. It's a kind of
I mean, he is Brazilian, so the Amazon's
It's
right up his
safe.
alley.
It's safe. Highly safe. Already, it's very safe here. No worries at all whatsoever.
okay.
Yeah.
We just want to know, does the carpet match the drapes? That's all.
Laura's not in the chat
You-
anymore,
you-
so I
you
don't think she
motherfucker.
can cue into that.
No.
But go ahead.
Thank God. Thank God. Thank God for that. But yeah, you can find me not just here on the Games Alive podcast. You can find me on the XPN Network YouTube channel. You can find me also on Xbox as Buffon Lizard 8, and you can find me on Twitter as FBO Marine 97.
All right. Yeah, I like it. I like it when you talk to me like that. Buffon Lizard. Yeah.
I like him when they're nice and hairy and thready.
And our esteemed guest, New Legal. Glad you were able to join us due to bad weather in your area, sir. Tell everybody where they can find you at, and what are your aspirations as a human being?
Yeah, before I do that, I want to say, man, I'm gonna have to come back on y'all show. We're gonna have to make this. We're gonna have to make. I got to do better than this, man, because I really enjoyed myself the whole time I'm with you guys. So, if I can do a remix and come back on y'all show, it would be a pleasure for the whole full ride the next time. And also, I want to extend my olive leaf to you guys, and I want to get you guys on direct gaming as well. We need to support each other. We need people to see other people with the same familiar aspirations in gaming. So you guys got my respect, and anytime you guys want to come on over, man, and sit with us, man, you're more than got a lot of good thinking skills, man, when it comes to these games, man. It's very interesting, and I like that.
Definitely.
So I'm truly a fan of all you guys, man, and appreciate. Yeah, man, you can find me. I'm the New Legal. That's my gamer tag. Of course, you can find me on the Xbox console. You can also find me on YouTube. My channel is called Direct Gaming, DI-RREC Gaming. You can also find me on Twitter, the New Legal at New Legal. It's at uppercase N, lowercase EW, underscore capital L, lowercase EGAL. And I mean, that's usually where I'm at. I really don't roam around that much. Of course, you will see that the Instagrams and the TikTok stuff, but that's all. That's and just having fun with pics and stuff. That ain't nothing really too serious. But other than that, man, I'm out hanging with the Xbox people out here in this great community, man. So that's where you'll find me at, man. Just chilling. And my aspirations in life, man, it's just live a life worthy of respect, man. It's all about respect. Gotta be another, man. And that's what makes us unique. That's what makes us special in your maturity, man. Don't come out here acting like a clown. This world don't have room for that, you know. But just that's all it is, man. Leave a good mark. I'm here to be a great father to my children, man. You know, hold it down. I got lineages coming out. I'm about to go take my sons to that's what I'm about to do this weekend, man. About to do some traveling. And hopefully, man, I make it back and then get back to work again. Glorious work, man.
Did you
Have
say
some
you have
fun.
new legal? Did you say you have some new lineages coming?
I got three lineages, man. I got a
Oh,
grown ass son. I got a son that's damn 22, 23. I got another one that's 12, and I got another one that's 10. I got
Oh,
two
wow.
daughters, man. I got two daughters going to college. So I'm broke, bro. I'm broke. I got one. I got one. Yeah.
So,
I got one. I got one.
So now,
I'm broke,
so now
man.
let's go. So like, let's go back into that circle over there. Like that
No.
passion, that passion.
No,
spirit
you were
is
saying
not
you got
work
new-
anymore. You are all about the money now.
Hey, I know. Hey, man.
No,
Hey, I got one
when
that,
you said you got new lineage coming, I thought, is that what they're calling it these days? Is that what they call masturbation these days? Where you got new lineage coming?
Yeah.
Because I just
My
fought some
daughters,
new-
man, my daughters. Right, my daughters are something else though. But man, I got one that's actually going to college to graphic design. She's into that. She's always been into art. And then I got another one that's more athletic. She's signed to a school to go play volleyball. So I'm broke, man. I'm out here just one leg in, one leg out. But it's all good, man.
Oh God.
Good.
Yeah. Man, this is so great to spend time with you, Illegal. Mr. Wize
Oh, man,
Gamer,
it's a pleasure.
sir, where can people
Yeah,
find you at? You've got you have a regular Friday hoedown going on, don't you, brother?
Yeah, we gotta do it a little bit down here, like we do it down here, like we do in the Dirty Dirty. And so yeah, we have a show
And
every.
please, while you're sharing about your show, try to for this next 5 to 10 minutes not get us unmonetized, please.
Oh, okay.
We don't want to get a strike on the channel.
Let me put my professor voice on.
Oh Lord.
Okay.
Here we go.
Yeah. My name is the Wise Old Gamer. You can find me on Twitter or X, PlayStation, Xbox, YouTube, Wise Old Gamer with a Z. You can find me every Friday night at 6 p.m. Eastern on the Wasted with Wise podcast with my podcast mates, Loke, Cozy. Loke, Cozy, Okay, there you go.
Man, no, Wise, you didn't do the Cool in the Gang on him, did you? Oh man.
If you're gonna do a sound effect, goddamn it, do a goddamn sound effect. Either take a shit or get off the commode. That's what I gotta say. Nah, but yeah, you can Wise Old Gamer with a Z, PlayStation, Xbox, Twitter, YouTube. By the way, do not follow me on Twitter if you get your feelings up in a bunch, man, because like I don't have time for that. I mean, if you've seen my post, you know it is not the most PC of things, but that's okay because yeah, you were asking, K, what you are trying, what my goal or aspirations are in life, dude. After you look at death 3 times in the face and tell them to go fuck off, you really take inventory and say, you know what I really want in life is the bonds that I make, and that's what people don't seem to understand. Whatever you find physically valuable, one day will be gone. Okay, one day will be gone. Okay, I don't care if the PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X is the one thing that you've always fucking loved. That thing will eventually go away. What is going to be left is your connections with people.
Yes, sir.
3 years ago, I was in a very down place, and if it wasn't for YouTube and guys like yourselves and helping me out, I wouldn't be here today. God knows where I'd probably be. I'd probably be 6 feet under somewhere. I don't think anything happens on a circumstance. Mr. Bushido, I met Mr. Bushido. I met you, KY. I met you, Fabio, of course, Legal. All these people that I stream with, guys. Why in the fuck are we streaming? Like, why in the hell? How did I end up, getting together with a guy from Kentucky of all places? I'm in Alabama, or a guy from Brazil, and all that shit. This is not a circumstance. This is not a happenstance. This is, it's destined, I think. So I think you are known by the company.
Holy shit, that's a really fucked up destiny. Like, you seriously telling me that destiny made me too? Holy crap, I want my money back. You serious?
You ain't getting shit back until you save those goddamn pits. That's all I gotta say. No, but yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I think that, I'm grateful for everyone I met across the boards of YouTube, from the Iron Lords all the way down to Mooch to, Noof Nukem, all of them, Mag, all of these guys. So yeah, I'm forever grateful. And I think that my goal, I think, in life is to make sure that, I make everyone feel comfortable. And I really do want people just to, have fun and have a good time. Gaming is meant, we have enough stuff in this world that is divisive, right? Gaming should not be one of those things. Gaming should be that one thing that brings us all together. And it did back when I was a kid. When I was playing, we would get together. Like there'll be people who would never talk to me as a kid, but then when we all got NESs, we sort of talked with each other in the lunchroom. So that is, I think, the purpose of me and gaming. I want to bring that back. I think that gaming has unfortunately become a little bit divisive, and I think that we need to stop that. We need to start bringing it all together. And as I tell everybody, I shit on everybody because I got all three consoles. I can shit on everyone. Every console has good things and bad things, so fuck it. Yeah,
That's right.
yeah. So again, it is by the relationships that we keep. Like when you guys come on to my podcast and you have a good time and we get to talking outside of games, that means more to me than any of this other bullshit will. And at the end of the day, that's all we are. I mean, tomorrow morning, if I disappear, what will be left? It won't not my game catalog. Nobody's gonna fucking know me from my game catalog or my user score.
That's
They're gonna know
right.
me by, hey, you know what? I was on the guy's podcast, or I was talking to the guy was pretty cool. He's a nice guy,
That's it.
and that's it. That's your legacy. And that's what I want to do. I want to leave a legacy, not only a good legacy with everyone that I meet, everyone that I encounter, and I want to be an example for my kids, so that the world they inherit, they can also be embracers and not dividers. So, yeah.
Amen.
So it's official. Wise Old Gamer is a member of the Embracer group. So yeah, you can send all
Yeah,
the complaints.
they're spinning me off too as well. So yeah.
Wow. Man.
No, but legal. I don't know if you know that we have that podcast every Friday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
man.
go on. Do your
Yeah,
thing. Do your thing. You got the podcast.
Yeah, man. I could jump in through my phone if I have to, man. So definitely,
Yeah.
man. I come back and talk to some. I got to talk to some real people, man. I
Yeah,
appreciate you guys, man. Being real gamers out here.
Yeah, we do it. We have a pretty big panel. We have everybody from Mr. Bushido all the way to Loke to Cozy Beluga to
Mr. Bushido's my guy, man.
Yep.
You
Hi,
got to have humble people, man. You got to have good, humble people because,
yeah, I mean,
man, you nailed it, man. Now, Wise Old Gamer, one thing about white people with their age and that's just the ignorance of dummies. Like, it's all in the language, right? It's in the language. So as soon as I'm too experienced in gaming to know when somebody starts talking about something that doesn't even matter about gaming, I don't pay them no more attention. And when they start talking about people's age, and I don't even, you're done with me. I'm done, bro. Like, because the minute you do understand in gaming, right? It automatically, the beauty of looking at you, Wise Old Gamer, is the fact that you can be happy. You can still kick it with us at your good old ripe age, man. And we embrace, I embrace people like you. I love it. I love